Hello, I'm Erin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a used book haul with you. Sometimes at the weekends, my husband and I like to scour little free libraries and trade books we've already finished for ones we haven't tried yet. And I also like to go to our library's bookstore. They usually sell books for $1, and sometimes if they're in the new releases section, they'll be $3 or $4, which is still a great price. And our local thrift stores often have books for $3 for hardcovers, $2 for paperbacks. And so sometimes if we're near one of those while we're running errands, we'll run in and check the book section real quick. And over the past weekend, I was able to find a nice little stack of books between the different places that we visited, so I thought I'd share them with you. The first book I picked up at a library book sale, which was a donation-based book sale. They kind of just sell their overstock inventory periodically throughout the year. And I was able to stop by in between some work hours and pick up some books. The first one is The Rosie Project, which is about an autistic woman, I believe. The summary says, Don Tillman, genetics professor, is getting married. Or he will be when his 16-page scientifically valid survey yields a candidate. See The Wife Project. Designed to filter out the drinkers, the smokers, the vegans, the late arrivers, Don's questionnaire is for this socially challenged academic the most logical method to find the perfect partner. Enter Rosie Jarman. Don quickly disqualifies her as a potential wife, but is drawn into Rosie's quest to find her biological father. See The Father Project. When something like a friendship develops, Don must confront the spontaneous whirlwind that is Rosie and the decidedly unscientific conclusion that sometimes you don't find love, it finds you. I thought this just sounded cute, and I also found it on a list of books that feature autistic female characters, so I wanted to pick it up for that reason, but I'm excited to give that a try. Then I found a book called In Her Own Right, which is a little bit dated, but it's about the life of Elizabeth Cady Stanton by Elizabeth Griffith, and it claims to be the first comprehensive, fully documented biography of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, the most important woman suffragist and feminist reformer in 19th century America. That's quite a grand claim, and I don't know enough yet about the suffragist movement to say whether it's an accurate claim, but I am enjoying learning more about feminist history, particularly in the US, so I thought it was worth picking up. Then in my library's dollar section, I found a copy in very good condition of Americana. This is by an author whose work I've read before. She wrote a memoir about grief, and I read it after losing my dad, and I really enjoyed her writing style. So I'm excited to give this a go, and it's in really good condition. So I was glad to find that for only $1. Then I picked up Sea of Tranquility, which is a novel by Emily St. John Mandel. I haven't read the synopsis for this. I don't know what it's about, so I'm going to be going blind. But I do remember seeing it on recommended reads lists, I think last year. When was this published? Yeah, 2022. So it's not a very recent release, but it's also not been in circulation for a long while. But I've never read anything by this author, so I'm excited to see how I like it. Then I picked up from Goodwill, which is a thrift store here in the US, a copy of Mary Called Magdalene by Margaret George. This is published by Penguin, which is one of my favorite publishing houses, and the back says, who is Mary Magdalene? Mary Magdalene, the beloved disciple and companion of Jesus, has held a mystique since her name first appeared in the Gospel of Mark. References to her are tantalizingly brief, but we do know that she was the first person to whom the risen Christ appeared and the one commissioned to tell others the good news, earning her the ancient honorific, Apostle to the Apostles. Today, Mary continues to spark controversy, curiosity, and veneration. Was she a prostitute, a female divinity figure, a church leader, or all three? In a vivid recreation of Mary Magdalene's life story, Margaret George uses testaments, letters, and narrative to convincingly capture Mary's voice as she moves from girlhood to womanhood, becomes part of the circle of disciples, and comes to grips with the divine. Grounded in biblical scholarship and secular research, this mesmerizing novel is a moving diary of a soul. I looked up reviews on this before buying it because I'm a little bit selective these days with anything revolving around Christianity or church history, and it seemed like just a really interesting and well-reviewed piece of scholarship, so I thought I would give it a chance. It was only $2 at the thrift store. Then something I've been watching for when I go to bookstores recently, particularly the used bookstores, are bestsellers from 2023 or most popular books of 2023 so that I can kind of get a feel for what people are reading and see what I like, because I'm kind of experimenting in different genres right now. And I found Holly at Goodwill by Stephen King. So that'll be my first Stephen King novel that I'll have read. And I also found The Covenant of Water, which has been a more recent bestsellers list. It was an Oprah's book club pick. And then I found again at our library's dollar bookstore, Lincoln on the Bardo by George Saunders. This won the Man Booker Prize. It was published in 2017, but I picked this one up because I have a book about writing by George Saunders, but I've never read any of his fiction, so I thought that would be interesting. And then I also picked up Toni Morrison's Paradise. I believe this was also this was either at Goodwill or in the dollar section at my library's bookstore. I've seen it in both places, and I can't remember which one I found this one at that I bought, but I'm excited to read this. I have a couple of other Toni Morrison novels that I'd like to read maybe in the next year or two, and this might be one of them. So that's my used book haul from the past weekend. Where do you guys like to find your used books? Or are you more of a new book person or a library book person? I'd love to hear. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.